Hello. Today I'll be explaining how God is against sin, all the sin. So I've been researching about how God responds back, and through my research, I've proven that God is against sin with other people, with an atheist. So more feedback the better, more data the better. But there's a definite correlation that God is against sin. And so explained in this section right here, called the secular section, which is more detailed about how God is against sin. So, so explained in this section. So we receive a guilty conscience. I believe that almost everyone knows about this, about the guilty conscience in the mind, about past immorality committed, and this is uncomfortable in the mind. You can also get a guilty conscience of what is not based on morality. So this includes cussing on one's own, getting drunk, bowing down to other gods, or joining with the occult. So if you do all four, that guilty conscience will be there about those four, but those four are not based on morality. So if you get a guilty conscience for committing these four above, then you need to explain why you're getting a guilty conscience. So that's the first point. So if one blatantly continues in immorality for a month, bad events not associated with your sins, with your immorality, will increase. And that includes the four above. And so you can also think about an immorality in your mind after confessing all your immorality and stop continuing in this immorality. Before you even act on that immorality, you will receive a guilty conscience of that immorality in your mind. Since there is this uncomfortable sensation of committing the four above, not based upon morality, you must confess each one, and that guilty conscience will go away. And there's a correlation that if one blatantly continues in immorality for a month, bad events not associated with that immorality will increase. If the bad event is associated with that immorality, then it is a bias. But there's a definite correlation, relationship between the two. So if one receives a guilty conscience of what is not based on morality, then that'll be the first statement. Yeah. If one blatantly continues in immorality for a month, then it also associated with your immorality will increase. So this is the second statement. So if the first statement and the second statement are true, then this shows that someone or something is intervening in your life. Because the logic of statement 1 and statement 2 should not be there, but it is there. And people need to do statement 1 and statement 2 to confirm that these two are factual. You can blatantly continue in this immorality for a month, and then bad events not associated with your immoralities will increase. And if they're associated, then you're going to ignore them. So you just write down all the bad events that happened during those first months. And the second month, do not continue in immorality. Write down all the bad events that happened during the second month. You'll see a difference between the first month and the second month. I don't know if you continue in immorality, bad events not associated with your immoralities will increase. That's the relationship between the two. Thus, there is someone or something intervening to make this logic happen. And the guilty conscience was not based on morality, and the intensity or quantity of bad events increasing because of the immorality committed is actually God. Therefore, God is against sin. So this narrows God down to the one who is against sin. Either he is a generic God that is against sin, God of the Jews, God of the Quran, God of Jesus, or he is the I am, the one sent Jesus Christ. So to prove God's name, to make fun of the God of the Quran, God of Jesus for 2 weeks while not sinning, and nothing bad will happen. Make fun of the Trinity gods, 3 gods in one, Jesus is God, for 2 weeks while not sinning, and nothing bad will happen. So nothing bad will happen. So God is a generic God that is against sin, God of the Jews, or the I am, one sent Jesus Christ. The only way to prove his specific name is to let God speak through a prophet, in the first person, and talk to him about his sins. And then through the prophet, he will say what his name is. If one makes fun of the Son of God Jesus for 2 weeks while not sinning, this will result in their life getting worse. Bad events not associated with their sins, but this sin will increase. So, the correlation, if you make fun of the I am for 2 weeks while not sinning, this will result in their life getting worse. Bad events not associated with this sin will increase. So don't do this. If you believe that God is against sin, then don't continue in sin. But this is a formal proof about how God is against sin, with a series of facts and logic that leads up to the conclusion that God is against sin. So, he's against sin, all sin, and I've proven this. And if more people understand this, then this will be, more proven. So, yep, that's how you do that. Prove that God's against sin and what his name is, and he sent Jesus Christ. So there's a correlation, a relationship. So God against sin. And I will continue the research about how God responds back. I am still trying to become self-employed, and so that's time-consuming. But once that is done, then I will continue to do this, continue the research, and continue to prove that God is against sin and how he responds back. Other ways that he can respond back that I can prove. I will continue that research, and just focus on God, and I will continue to give the facts about how God responds back. And thank you.